That is my first reaction. And he called a week later and said, listen, we really want you to enter. And I said, well, you convinced me why I should enter. He said to me, you like leather, you like kink, I think you'll be a good candidate. And I said, Jamie, but then I didn't call him Mr. Myra, I called him Jamie. Jamie, thank you, but I'm in Cape Town. There's this rivalry between Cape Townians and people from Johannesburg. Cape Town is better, obviously. And I said, if I become Mr. SA Leather, how can I be the head of, or the front of an organization in Johannesburg? But it's national. Let me think about it. Click. He called me back, and by then I spoke to my husband, what does he think? And I respect his judgment. He said to me, I have thought about it. You will win the contest. I think you should enter. And I did. I went up to Johannesburg. Now you have to bear in mind that South Africa has never had a contest. I thought it was a beauty pageant. Well, it is, but we all know what IML is about. And I researched the hell out of, my keywords were leather contest, leather men, competitions, and lo and behold, I won the contest. We were 9 people. I was chosen. I was given a sash, and I had absolutely no clue what to do with the sash. What do? I have no one to fall back onto. I subsequently then met you in Cape Town. And I remember on the Friday, I asked every single possible question that you can imagine. I asked Doug. Doug, the gracious man himself, we shared many beers, and he told me exactly what his version of being leather is. And I knew that there's a contest. I heard about the contest called IML. I wasn't even told at my contest that I would participate globally. That wasn't even mentioned.
Wow.
Until you mentioned it to me. So, there goes Google again. Instead of leather contest, now it's IML. Now it is international competition. And I remember sitting with my husband, because of the time difference, I knew IML was going to take place. And I said to Herman, my partner, I said, guess what? Mr. Jeffrey Payne won IML this year. Wonderful. He looks hard, he looks good. I wonder if I will be able to speak to him. Not lying to you, 3 hours later, I get an email from Mr. Jeffrey Payne saying, congratulations on your title. I'm a South African. Who am I? Here is Mr. IML congratulating me for a title. So that's where my journey began.
Tell us a little bit about how the South African leather scene is evolving.
Ooh. If you would have asked me this question in December last year, I would have said very slowly. Before December 2013, we were just a gay or bi-male organization. I have always believed that leather exceeds boundaries, race, gender, fetishes. And it took me 3 years, it took me 3 years to open up and to change people's minds in the Constitution. So before December, we were just standing still. We had 2 title holders, excuse me, 2 title holders, of which, and I'm very proud to say, of all 3 years we competed at IML, we've all reached top 10, which I feel is very good. Yes. As a young community, we've done our jobs. So, moving on from December, we've opened up our memberships. We now include ladies. We have transgender people in our community. It's a bit of a shock to the system. South Africans, and I revert back to apartheid, are still, they live with blinkers on. They're still not accepting of anyone that is strange, that is different. They are afraid of what's the unknown. And I've managed now to, as a chairman of South Africa, SA Leather South Africa, change people's perceptions of mines and open up the community. So I think we are evolving. We are listening and we're watching what other countries do. I believe, and I've always said that South Africans are great copycats. We look and we listen and we do. And sometimes we improve. So we are doing better. We are getting the word out there that it's not just what's in your pants that makes a difference, it's what's in your heart that makes a difference.
I forgot, where did you place at IML in your year?
As David said to me, Jeffrey Penn's partner, says, you have all the glory and none of the responsibilities. I placed fourth. And to me, it was a shock. My goal was to place top 20. Herman, my partner, said to me, I know you'll win SA Leather competition. I can see it, he sees it. Then I went to him and I said, okay, I've won this competition, I'm preparing for IML, where do you see me place? And he said to me, you're not going to win. How do you feel about that? I said, I'm okay. I'm going to meet people from different backgrounds, another country, I get the chance to travel again. This is going to be bigger than the both of us. And I remember standing in line, as we all do at IML, and my name was called to top 20. And I walked up and I remember clearly saying thank you to the hearing impaired audience. Stood there and I started crying because I just reached my goal. I didn't care about where am I going to place from here. I still had a speech to do, which it's as if you are a title holder, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We went backstage. Everyone was texting that they made top 20. Because of the time difference, I texted a couple of people. I woke them up at 4 o'clock in the morning saying, I reached top 20. They were not so happy. And one of my IML brothers, Toby the Ford, came up to me and said to me, you have a look of complacency on you. You're not nervous. I go, I've reached my goal. I'm happy. And I delivered my speech. The next day, and then I didn't place. I knew I wasn't going to place, but the next day when you go and fetch your envelope and you've got your placing, your letter with placing, after the interviews, I placed second in the world.
Wow.
After the final contest, I was fourth.
Yeah.
It was a shock, and I don't think I could speak to someone for the next 20 minutes. I was in tears. I was really into it.
Tell us some of your biggest impressions about IML, and also here at Leather Leadership Conference, what are your thoughts about Philadelphia and the scene you're experiencing here?
I have one word to say, and it's unity. I'm dreading going back home because I don't find family like this back home. Here is people from all creeds, all sectors of the community working towards one single goal. I very often tell people, I would love to have a heart tattooed right there, not because of my own heart, because of what leather community represents. IML is, we were 52 contestants. I keep in touch with at least 90% of those people. Wow. This is my first time at LLC. Philadelphia has been unbelievable. And the people from Chicago are going to kill me when they see this. I thought Chicago was my favorite city. And Philadelphia is quickly taking over. I enjoy the unity, the friendship, whether it's for 5 seconds, whether it's for 5 years. It's something that you can't explain to someone. And the more you try to explain it, the more people just go, I don't get it. I wish I could take my community and bring them here for 1 weekend. Wow. And let them learn. I bet you we will have a different leather community back home. So all I can say to you is IML, LLC, these are the 2 big events that I've been involved with. is one word, it's unity. Yes, there are bitching and all communities, there are people who don't agree with stuff, but eventually we all stand around the same fire singing the same song.
Have you visited other communities outside of the US, for example in Europe?
Yes, I have. I've been to Europe, I've spoken at different clubs. I've been told that I'm too American. Is there such thing? Because I associate with the leather for me as more Americanized. America has IML. It's an institution. I go to Britain or I go to Germany and I find a whole different community. Now we all don't have to be the same. It's our differences that make us unique and special. But I would always come back to America. I would always like to know that, and I know I have a family. I have family whether they are a phone call or an email away or a Skype message away. I know that I'm welcome and I'm accepted.
Well, this is a special trip for you here in the States at this time because in 2 weeks you will be judging IMSL. What are your thoughts on that?
Headache tablets, headache tablets, headache tablets. I've been warned by several ladies that they have bottles of Jägermeister on tap, and I'm not complaining. No, IMSL, I'm honored to be one of the judges for IMSL. I'm the first South African to judge international contests of such magnitude. When I was asked, I said yes. It took me less than 0.4 seconds. It's going to be an amazing trip. I'm not just going judging. I'm learning because, as I told you, we've opened up our contest.
Yes.
Last night we've reached $2,400.
Wow.
And that purely goes to send our very first Miss SA Leather to IMSL next year. So I'm learning. I'm going to go to IMSL. Sharon has promised me, her minion, that she's going to sit there and she's going to explain to me exactly, not just the judging, but the preparing for IMSL. So I'm going there by judging, and I'm honored and happy and elated, but I'm learning. To me, it's going to be a learning curve, and I'm taking that back to South Africa.
When are you having your contest in South Africa?
We will have it during, I forgot the exact date, and Randy, you're going to kill me. It's around
December 5th.
There we go, December 5th. We have a Leather and Lions tour that Randy and Master Mike has organized. Our judges, it'll be around the same time. Our judges will be, out of 5 judges, 3 will be international judges, which we are so honored to have. So we will have our 4th Mr. Leather contest and our 1st Mr. Leather contest. So it'll be in December. And by then, I would know enough to train our title holder, both male and female, for our contest. So it'll be in December.
What's the interest in South Africa? Are you seeing a lot of women that are interested in being part of this?
The people that I've been talking to, ladies that I've been speaking to, are very interested. They know my history, the road that I've walked. I know offhand about 4 ladies who are really interested. I think, honestly, 2 of those ladies stand a very good chance to make South Africa proud. They're eager to learn. And I'm happy to say a lot of people in South Africa think leather is a gay based organization. I strongly feel, and I'm not going to be a judge, I'm only the producer, that I feel that our lady will be a heterosexual lady who rides bigger motorbikes than most guys do.
Let's take it to a slightly lighter note at the moment. What are your favorite activities, your favorite kinks?
Really? On camera?
On many cameras.
On many cameras. Let's see. I like showers. You know, those long showers. Okay, showers. I love bondage. I started off as a boy. I thought that as a younger man, because I like daddies, I had to be the bottom. So I was tied up a lot. I was pissed on a lot. I wasn't too much for being the bottom sexually. And I've always said to people, I'm not a size queen. If it can fit in my mouth, it's good enough. I do enjoy role play a lot. I think that's, my mind is my biggest sex organ. Yeah, and I think those are my favorite. I flag a couple colors, but I would say if I had to choose, and this is going to shock many of you, it's romantic kissing with my husband.
That's sweet.
Here we go.
Very sweet. Who was Nelson Mandela to you?
Now, I told you earlier that I had a preacher who helped our family when I had some sexual problems with my sexuality, and he was asked to come and assist. And all he wanted to do was just to pray the gay away. So, and I said this in my keynote speech last night, his wife entered the room and asked us to switch on the television. And there's this presenter saying, Nelson Mandela will be released from prison soon. I had absolutely no clue who Nelson Mandela was. No clue whatsoever. The government kept this away from most people. Oh, well, I was a kid at the time. Kept it away from the news. So I looked at him and I said, well, who is Nelson Mandela? And he gave me this description. For me, Nelson Mandela was and still is someone who teaches me that I shouldn't hate someone. We had a little discussion earlier about being a minority in a minority in a minority. How dare I discriminate against someone because of their color, because of their gender, because of their fetishes? For me, he represents complete humility. There was a man who was in jail for 27 years, and guess what? They didn't chase white people into the sea as people led to believe. There's a man who said to his jailers, I forgive you. I'm sure we've all held grudges. I have held grudges against people because they've done X, Y, or Z to me. There's a man who said to his jailers, that's okay, I forgive you. And he led from example. I look at him and look at this, at Madiba, as we call him back home. Madiba is a man who set South Africa free. Faces of freedom. That's why I keep on stressing, he is my face of freedom. Because of that man, I have married my husband. Because of that man, I don't have to sit on this side of the street and it says, Europeans only. Because of that man, I can hug and kiss a person who is not from my family. I remember meeting someone who we had a little fling in a bathroom, a public bathroom one day. And I walked out, and he was of color, and I walked out and I thought, I can be arrested twice for what I've just done. And he joined me. He said to me, oh, are you still here?